Look, I know you've been hearing this for years. The Grand Egyptian Museum is finally going to open soon. And then it doesn't. We've been promised opening dates over and over again, and then something happens. In Egypt's defense, the last two big somethings that happened in the region were completely and wholly out of their control. But those unexpected regional conflicts impacted people's ability to come to Egypt and participate in the gym's grand opening ceremony, which is really important to the government and people of Egypt. And honestly, they deserve to celebrate this historic milestone of constructing and opening the largest and most stunning archaeological museum in the world. So we need to cut them a little slack for the last few delays. Sure, they could have just opened it without a big grand opening party and ceremony, but it's Egypt. Have you met Egypt? It does everything on a grand scale. That's why you want to come, right? To see how they've been doing everything on a grand scale for 5,000 years. And that's why Egypt is a bucket list destination for literally everyone on the planet. Well, back in August, we were given a new grand opening target date for early November. Then a few weeks later, news trickled out that it would be on November 1st. Then a few weeks later, news trickled out again that the grand opening ceremony would actually be what took place on November 1st, and the gym would fully open to the public on November 4th. They've not been very good at communications and public relations, that's for sure. But slowly, we have been able to piece together a picture of the latest, final, full opening plan and what it actually looks like. And this time, it actually looks like it's really going to happen. But don't just take my word for it, or the Egyptian government's word for it, for that matter. Let me tell you exactly why this time is actually different. First, they fully closed the partially open gym on October 15th to get ready for the full opening. The poor communication around this move really upset a lot of people around the world who had long planned trips to Egypt for late October after having been promised an early July opening. And even when that got delayed, they expected to at least be able to see the gym during their visit via the ongoing pre-opening trial visits program, even if it wouldn't be the whole museum. Well, despite the late and bad communications, they nevertheless had to close it at some point pre-opening in order to get it ready for the full public opening. That included bringing over and installing the last and greatest of Egypt's ancient pharaonic treasure collection, namely the most famous and valuable treasures of King Tutankhamun. They can't exactly say, excuse me, to thousands of visitors while carrying in priceless artifacts like solid gold coffins and burial masks and chariots, can they? They need time and space to safely bring in and install the remaining artifacts that were still on display at the old Egyptian Museum, and to get the premises secured for the presidential level grand opening ceremony to formally open the museum. Related to that, the second big reason why we know this time the museum really is going to open on November 4th is that as of October 20th, they have finally closed, for the first time since it was installed there 100 years ago, the King Tut treasure room in the old Egyptian Museum in downtown Cairo. Again, they couldn't realistically transfer those priceless and heavy treasures while bumping into visitors all day long, could they? So after closing down the entire gym for 2.5 weeks, they have now closed the King Tut treasure rooms at the old museum to move the last of his tomb contents from their old home to their new permanent home in the gym. They would never do that unless it was for real this time. Third, unlike every other time before, tickets finally went on sale for the full gym experience, with that first day of ticket availability being November 4th. So they're going all in on this last, and I believe final, grand public opening date of November 4th, 2025, by actually selling non-refundable tickets for that opening day. Now, those opening day tickets have very likely already sold out by the time you're seeing this, especially given the amount of excitement around the world, and especially here within Egypt for this day. But here's where I have a surprise for you, for those who have been kind enough to watch this video all the way through and support my completely volunteer efforts over the past 5 years to keep the global public informed and updated with real, verified, concrete information about the Grand Egyptian Museum, its progress towards completion, and the years-long wait for its final grand public opening. Within minutes of going on sale, I actually bought 80 general admission tickets to the gym for its historic grand opening day to the public, November 4th, 2025. And I'm going to give them all away for free. I have 30 tickets for non-Egyptians, which are quite expensive to be honest, and 50 tickets for Egyptians. And I want to give them all away for free to people who want to come and see the full Grand Egyptian Museum on its first day fully open to the public, an historic day for Egypt and for the fields of history and archaeology around the world. These opening day gym tickets are going to be given away for free on a first come, first served basis. So if you'll actually be in Egypt on November 4th, or if you're Egyptian and already in Egypt, just go to grandegyptianmuseum.org and look for the link at the top of the page that says free tickets to find instructions on how to claim yours and pick them up. So grandegyptianmuseum.org and look for the link at the top of the page that says free tickets if you'll be in Egypt on November 4th and want free tickets to the gym's historic full public opening day. And beyond that, I'll see you all here again on the Egypt Travel Channel with another update next week after and if the Grand Egyptian Museum finally actually opens. I really think this time it will, but it's Egypt, so we'll see. Until then, my friends, ma salama.